Are you giving
I
any
mean, that's all.
direction from Raven? Are you giving any direction from Eric, from anybody?
No,
No.
the,
Yeah, that's
no, the
odd.
only no, nothing, not a word. I mean, the only direction I had ever gotten from Eric was right when I gotten in the flock, and he told me if I didn't change the gimmick up and do something different from the rest of the guys, that I could be uh, just as quickly out of there as I was in there. I mean, that was it. And I was like, I don't know why they're hitting me, because everybody else is just sitting in the chairs acting like they're drugged out.
Right.
And so I mean, this was I think first. This is probably my first Nitro with the flock, because we've been in Universal Studios taping
Right.
for like the week before, and I was just doing tapings there, and we were just sitting there ringside in the chair, because I think only Perry and Rave did matches. I mean, I ended up and did one at the very end, um, but they were the only guys working, and so we were
Right.
just sitting there ringside. So yeah, that the only thing he ever really that Eric said to me was that he called me up into the arena in Tampa and just said, "Hey, you need to do something different than the rest of the guys." And that's when I started, was like sitting on the floor, which
Right.
was a bad idea.
Don't you think like the company should say you should do something different? How about this? I don't know. Like I always just like I don't know, just a lack of feedback or direction. I find just mind-boggling.
Well, that's how WCW was.
Right.
There was no real creative team, not like WWF.
Right.
I mean, it was light years difference between the two when I went there compared to WCW.
Mm.
I mean, there was really no direction whatsoever on anything other than um, what we were doing in that set uh, frame of the flock, and the angles we were in, like with Goldberg and Benoit and Page and stuff like that. There was real. They were almost just like, do what you want to do, and unless you and you were fine unless you did something they didn't like. Which, when I wore a suit out to the ring, trying to evolve my character, and didn't tell anybody, and got in big trouble.
So they want you to think outside the box, but get the okay first.
Yeah, and I get it, because it was such a different thing, because I was like, I'd gone to Rave and said, look, man, and this was a few, I think, I don't know, a few weeks, months, whatever, after the talk with Eric. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna sit in the floor. I got that part down. uh I'll act like I'm hearing voices and talk, look up to the rafter and kind of spin around coming out of my entrance, because I think entrances are huge. That's the biggest. That's a big part of the match. Coming out and doing something there. And so I was like, okay, I want to add to this, and I came up with like, hey, I want to do this guy. It'd be perfect to do like a multi personality. Add that to the sick boy. And I went to Rave and pitched it to him, and he was like, "Man, that's awesome! Like, I love it." Like, because I said, "Hey, I'll be in a coat and a nice dress shirt and slick back, and I'll wear like wrestling boots and trunks and be like a regular guy. And then one day I'll flip back to Sick Boy, and then maybe have another couple personalities in there, or one or two more." And he loved it. And he was like, "Yeah, do it." And so I did it, and I didn't smarten the office up. So I was getting yelled at, like, when you do something like that, you got to let us know. We don't know what's going on. Because, yeah, I wasn't aware of all the communication through commentators, you know, in the back, how it all flows.
Right. Right.
I just remember everybody was saying when I came back there, everybody was screaming about how they need to get the camera off of me, because I think Ray was sitting in the corner like he does, and I was like right next to him. And I was just very, you know, this was just different, no hair down, no, and so yeah, I just didn't know any better, and that ended right there. So after that, it just kind of that idea kind of just went flat. But but yeah, it was nobody said, "Hey, that's great, keep going with it." but you got to let us know. I just assumed Rave, because Rave was everybody that you went to Rave and he said, okay, I'm thinking about this or that. It was like, I thought that was the one-stop shop kind of thing.
Sure, sure. You want to plug anything? If promoters want to reach you, if anyone wants to get in touch with you?
Right now, it's Facebook. Scott Vick, actually, it's not Sick Boy, it's Scott Vick on Facebook. And then Instagram is Scott Sick Boy Vick on Instagram.